everybody, to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Celebs Go Dating UK Season 14.
Really?
Throw a bit of the old
Dick Van Dyke.
Rob Beckett in there. Or Dick Van Dyke, yeah, that also works. Or also Alf Stewart from Home and Away.
Flanny John
Rose. So, Chris, where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, we got to see, and I don't think he was in the series when you first jumped onto this, but we did get to see the legend in his own fucking head, which is Wayne Lineker, Dave, in the pool party with his trainers on. 65-year-old man. I've seen that he's just got married again, I think. Or it might have been nice. Actually, I don't think he's got married. I think it's his daughter this week. But at first I thought, that girl looks really young, and he did the whole thing, when he turns around and looks at the bride and I think it was his daughter, to be fair. But anyway, Wayne Lineker, the man with the suspect hard drive, probably, I don't know.
He's off fucking lists as well, I tell you.
I'm telling you, 100%. But he was someone on this show a couple of years ago, which was absolutely ridiculous. Another platform for him. He's there. Obviously, Kerry's a mate of his. He probably had a few holidays out in Ibiza. I said it last week, and look, I'm enjoying it. It's good fun. Rob Beckett's what makes this show more than anything. But I still don't understand this whole Towie, let's go to the villa thing first. Because to me, it seems like a vehicle for Olivia and, Lewis to get together more than anything. The fake thing, she goes off crying. It was almost like fucking Love Island in the toilet. Kerry's running after her. He's kissed someone else. I'm like, you're taking a mickey. How stupid do you think we are? Because for the two, so if you look at Monday, Tuesday's episode, which that centered or sort of finished off the Olivia and Lewis thing to a point, it's always going to run until they get together. But we've had literally Love Island levels, and you've got two people, I said it last week, Olivia and Lewis, who are both alumni when it comes to these sort of shows, the fake showman stuff. We get behind the curtain stuff in some of the shows recently where they've said it's a showman's. This is all this is, isn't it? He doesn't care. She knows what she's doing. We're here again, Dave, and we're going Olivia again doing it all. But I'm just like, it's not just because of Olivia. I don't hate Olivia, but because I don't think she's been absolutely horrible in this show. But because we've seen the other show, Love Island, that but I haven't seen what Lewis is on. You straight away, you're smelling the bullshit, aren't you? You're smelling that this is purely for this show. There is not one person on this show going to get in a relationship with anybody off it. The end. It's Love Island again. I'm calling myself out because I love these shows and I do like watching them and everything, but I just love talking to you about it because I'm just like, they should just put a disclaimer at the start. Nobody's going to get together. It is purely a mockumentary. It's not real. Just enjoy the fun. Enjoy the drama and the fun of what's put in front of you. That's what they should say, I think, now.
I mean, unlike the realism that we get in the likes of Maths and Love Island.
What, Maths, Dave? He's so real. I'm sorry.
But just going back to Lineker's, because I say Lineker's, so Wayne Lineker. I mean, I've not been to Tenerife for years. I'm trying to think now, when was the last time? I went a few times in the 90s, probably went in the 2000s, maybe early 2000s. But I always remember like Lineker's bar in Tenerife, but he's got fucking loads, hasn't he? Like you mentioned about Ibiza.
Oh, Ibiza, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a weird niche, isn't it? And given that, I mean, they set up in 88, I think, with the first one. But yeah, there's some skeletons in that closet, no doubt. And just it's like an old bloke, he's almost like fucking Peter Stringfellow, like the way he was fucking going around with Kerry Katona went in. It's just very, very dodgy, but acting like these fucking big white trainers, like he's fucking 17 or something. It's a very weird character.
Yeah, he is. And again, I mean, we even saw a flash, and he was on this a couple of years ago, with Dean Gaffney, Dave Robbie off East End.
Yeah.
I mean, anything. He was like, they didn't even really show him, did they? They went, oh, he's working behind the bar or something. And I was like, oh, they're obviously mates. And I'm like, It's bizarre. I mean, saying that, nothing beats the end of the week when Kerry Katona's on a date and Sean Dyche just turns up.
I was going to say cameo of the week, surely.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Sean Dyche. Yeah, all right, Kerry. How's it going?
How's it going? You're right. Yeah, we having a great time. He's a great lad. And she's like, oh, I thought you were taking me on a date. And I'm like, she's on a date now with this guy. Like, come on. But
You seem like a decent bloke.
he did seem like a lovely guy, actually, even giving bloody money to charity and everything. So he did seem like a top bloke, too good to be true, I suppose. But yeah, to be honest, Dave, that is the greatest cameo on Celebs Go Dating I've ever seen. Sean Dyche, so random. Nobody will know who that is if you're not from the UK, but he's the ex-Everton Burnley manager. And he's got a really deep voice. If you watch the show, you'd understand. But that's how he speaks. It's not a fake voice. That's how he speaks, doesn't he? That was just bizarre. But yeah, get back to like this episodes. I just think I enjoy it, and I do enjoy it, and I feel for like Christine McGuinness because she's come on this off her agent, and she is not emotionally in the right headspace to be on this at all. I think there's still things there. Obviously with Paddy, she's been going out with she's actually been dating women, hasn't she? And she said that for years she dated men and women growing up, and then throughout her years, and she's come out as autistic as well. She's had all the tests and everything, so she's had a lot to deal with as well as the divorce. So she just, I feel for her, to be honest, Dave, because she looks completely out, like she's pushing this celeb thing because she was on Housewives of Cheshire originally. That's where I'd seen her. I know she was a model and stuff, but that's where I'd seen her. With this, it feels like they're almost forcing her into the show because she has to do it. And that's not anyone on the show's fault. It's more no producers. It's no one's fault. It just feels like her agent has got her on this. And you can clearly she's actually in this for love, naively. You can see that, but it's just not the right platform for her at all.
No, and I think, weren't you telling me the kids were autistic? Because didn't they do a show a few years ago?
Good show. Yeah, brilliant show on it, to be honest. Really good show. And yeah, I think that's why they still live together as well, Dave, to co-parent. And that's admirable, to be honest. But it must be hard every day seeing each other when you're not together, sort of thing.
Yeah, and it must make that fucking everything but a clean break, and I think 2022 is when they split up formally, I guess. But yeah, it just seems way too quick for me, especially if they're living together. And I say she's very like reserved, isn't she? I mean, it's only in recent years this whole autism in adults has come to the fore, myself included. And I'd put myself in that bracket previously where I'd just say, in social settings, just being reserved. Now we get labeled fucking autistic. He's definitely like a fish out of water. And I imagine, she's trying to find out what life after that marriage it looks like, because she's going to have to make her own money. And, something like this probably seem like a decent idea, but sometimes, especially when everything's so raw like that, you don't know how you're going to feel until you feel it.
Yeah.
That's probably, coming into that environment, she probably had some reservations about it, but thought, oh yeah, why not? But then it is so intense, and like, especially when you got fucking Olivia and Lewis there, like treating it like it's a fucking meat market or something. It must be quite unsettling. I would not want to be in that environment either, to be honest.
No, and look, I have no evidence of this, but I think by the looks of it, I don't think she wanted her marriage to break up. And obviously, by the sounds of it, he's cheated from some of the dialogue she said. And I think I believe that. I mean, I believe he's a very good dad, but I believe he's also a massive bell end as well, Paddy McGuinness. So you can see that. He's one of them fake nice guys, I think. He looks like everyone's friend, doesn't he? But I might be wrong, but I know some people know him said that he's proper like celeb, if that makes sense. And whatever he's done to lose that trust points to one thing. We don't know because she didn't say, well, that's what we think. So I think maybe it's that as well. It's like she's in situations she doesn't want to be in, but she has to earn money herself probably as well. So yeah, I think she just needs to leave the show, if I'm being honest, properly, and
I think she did, didn't she?
Oh, she did, but I mean, just has not come back on any other series and that, because some like leave like this and then come back. I don't think this is the right platform for her. She come across really well. Every time I've watched her, I think she comes across as a nice person, to be honest.
She's got that interesting blend. She obviously spent a lot of time in Liverpool, but she's originally from Blackpool, isn't she? So
Yeah.
got that interesting blend of the two accents. But Chris, I mean, we also get a new arrival, don't we? So Sam Prince. Go on.
Oh, I read The Beast. Fucking brilliant.
The Beast. Oh, fucking hell. We'll come to him. I've got a lot to say about that. And some absolute classic moments that I'm sure we'll talk about. But yeah, Sam came in a bit more low key, didn't he? Early doors. Now,
Yeah.
what is it? Made in Chelsea? I've never watched it. Have you watched that one?
No, you know what? Of all the reality shows we've watched, I've never watched it. Now, my wife Sam loves Sam Thompson, who was on Made in Chelsea, and she watches his podcast with Pete Wicks. He's quite similar to me and you, actually, that podcast, Dave. It's a bit of a weird one because Sam's like me and just wants to throw himself into everything with no planning or anything. And he's like the enthusiastic puppy. And Pete's his mate who's just like, come on now. Why? What are you doing here? What like you do with me? You're gonna be like, come on now. What, like you bring me down correctly because I'm ready to, as the greatest saying you ever said about our friendship is, I'm the guy who jumps out of a plane with no parachute and then realize halfway down, you're the one who's checking your parachute. By the time you've checked it, the plane's landed. So someone in the middle is where we meet. It's the greatest quote ever. I'll never forget that for as long as I live, that quote. But it's true. And that's what they do. So she watches that. So Sam Thompson is like massive and everyone loves him. He's just Love Island. He's done all sorts of different things. And he's done like Strictly and that. He's just one of them people that everyone likes. He's like a Labrador, isn't he? Like it's just everyone loves him. Whereas Pete is a different thing, but they work. So she watched that podcast. But anyway, he was on, I've gone off on one now. I know, Made in Chelsea. So I've never seen it. I know Spencer was on it, who we watched one of his reality shows. But I don't know why it never thingy to me, but again, because they come from these like upper class backgrounds, I don't know. He just comes across as a bit of an entitled prick to me, Dave. I could be wrong. That could just be biased, a regional bias. I don't know, being in the UK, but he seems like that proper. He seems like the character when you watch an American movie and they portray the stereotypical English person, don't they? That like, oh, hello, I'll tea and crumpets. Hugh Grant is not a stereotypical English person, even though in most of the films, I think it's him or Colin Firth, don't they, or whatever. It's them. That's not the UK. But they.
I mean, a few things there. So I don't know if you've forgotten, but we obviously covered Sam Thompson in the I'm a Celeb series. We did the whole ADHD episode, which is still one of the things I'm quite proud of that we did. But yeah, I definitely see the kind of parallel there. Now, with this Sam Prince vlog, I can't remember if I discussed this with you in the past or maybe even on the podcast, but I remember, so last summer I took my daughter down to just go to London Museum, and it was a really sunny day. It was a lovely time, and then we went to this like sushi place. It was quite close to Chelsea, and we sat there eating. And then there's a group of girls on the table next to us, and it's talking that loud. You can't help but hear. It's not like you fucking earwigging or anything. But one of them was talking about, oh yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I may go to Vietnam, do some what is it they call where they do like volunteer work or abroad and stuff. Volunteer work, I guess. Yeah, I might do that for a year or something like this. And they were only like early 20s. So, and I was almost not embarrassed, but I was thinking, for my daughter, I just can't help you with that, right? You're going to have to, I'll support you to get through uni. You'll have to take on a bunch of debt to do that, but I'll support you as much as I can. And then you're going to have to join the rat race with the rest of us to fucking earn some money and then, save up a bit and whatever if you can. And I was thinking, this is just such a different life. I cannot comprehend what it is like to have that privilege. And they wouldn't be able to understand our lives probably, that just, we we don't have a choice. We can't just say, yeah, I might just take a year out and just, volunteer for stuff. Because who's going to pay for your food and everything? Well, someone's fucking paying for you, you to actually live. So yeah, when this Sam Prince shows up this week, it got me thinking back to that, where it's like what you said. It's just such a different world. We just can't get it, and I didn't have the same sort of reaction where he's an entitled prick. I just think he just probably doesn't know how much privilege he's got.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. And again, like I was saying, it could be just a bias, innit? You see someone on these shows, you're like, oh, here we go. Maybe if they see a Mancunian on there, they go, here we go, Gobby, Chav, or whatever.
That's usually you, because that was the second thing I was going to say. You say you don't like about when the Patrick Stewart's or the Hugh Grant's talk on American TV shows. A lot of times covering stuff on VHS Strikes Back. But you have a visceral reaction if you have someone like Nathan Eccleston turning up in Gone in 60 Seconds with a Mancunian accent. And you go for him worse than you do for the people with the royal pronunciation.
Now, listen, are you trying to say that I'm a hypocrite, Dave? That is a disgrace.
No,
I'll just allude.
Highlighting something you might not have noticed yourself, but you do tend to go for people who have the regional accents more. And
I'm moving on,
Dave. In films.
I'm moving on. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. I'm not saying that you're right, but we're just moving on from this segment. The ultimate hypocrite. But anyway, Dave, onto the beast. Now, this was my highlight, other than Sean Dyche. What a contestant. Because we were watching this, me and Sam, and I actually nodded off for the last 10 minutes of it, and I had to watch it the next day. And Sam's like messaging me going, she's going, have you watched Celebs Go Dating? At the end of it, I was going, no, why? And I knew he was going on a date and everything. He comes in. I mean, he was interested. Wanted to talk about how big he was. He was like 29 stone. He's a big guy, and he's like 6'9" or whatever he is? He's massive, and he's such a big guy. And he's saying about, like, obviously he's autistic. He was saying about, like, his struggles with that. I thought it was really interesting. But when he went on the date, one of the greatest things ever, he falls asleep, and then she's talking, and the poor woman, it was really nice. He's just chatting away. So it's not like she's motor mouthing or anything, like it would say someone like me. She's just chatting, and he's falling asleep, picks the candle up and drinks. It's one of the greatest things I've seen. And then someone, please watch it. And then I forgot. And then we watched it together. I was crying. I was like, oh my. And you'd not messaged me about it. I'm thinking, has Dave watched it yet? And I forgot to message. But honestly, that is the best thing I've seen this week.
Yeah. No, a legendary moment. And again, you say about Rob Beckett making the show. It's the fact that Rob it's almost like he's Jiminy Cricket or something, but no one can hear him. It's not a drink, it's a candlelight. He just keeps talking away, and he's kind of got his arms folded, as if he's trying to be all nonchalant and whatever. And then goes to drink it. And then it still takes him a while to register that no liquid has actually passed into his mouth. It's a good job it was a fucking fake candlelight, wasn't it? Not an actual candle.
So good. It was so good, honestly. And he tried to style it out as well, didn't he? He tried to, like, play it off like it was nothing, did he? And like you say, Rob Beckett made that. It's a candle. It's a candle. He was just proper going. That's what made it even better. But being asleep like that poor woman was supposed to be like, right, that's the end of it. Yeah, that's the end of it. It's ridiculous, honestly. It would just be brilliant TV.
Have you watched The Chase? Is he just like one of these boffins that, like, is
he's good. Yeah, he's really good. They're all good on there, to be honest, on The Chase. But yeah, he's probably the most legendary character, I think, on there. Like, he is. There's a few of them. There's actually some really good ones. But yeah, he's like, but very matter of fact. And I mean, he's lost the odd one, but I think I've watched it for a few years. But yeah, he's one of the more accurate ones with his information. So yeah, and he's had he's done another couple of he did a reality show a couple of years ago with one of the other Chase guys as well, the Dark Destroyer guy. So they went on like a bit of a road trip around the UK. So yeah, really interesting character, to be honest, and good to have a platform as well, so to be able to go on TV and that. Because years ago, someone who's clever like that, you'd just be pitching all the University Challenge. You'd see him on there, wouldn't you? But they've actually made a career out of it, which is great.
Yeah. Sorry, I always think back to the young ones when I think to University Challenge, Scumbag College. Up York.
Great episode.
They've got a Porsche. So people not having a clue what we're talking about, probably half. Yeah, I did see a comment in our chat, and someone was saying about, oh, was he drunk or something? But let me tell you, Chris, having worked in tech for a number of years, no. The people like this are out there.
Yeah.
A lot of them work in IT, to be honest. I've met many people like that. So it's not a drunken thing. It's just, just a social, just how they are in social environments, I guess. But his date was trying to make the best of it, wasn't she? But
Yeah.
definitely there won't be a follow-up, I wouldn't have thought.
No, I don't think there's any cause for that. This could be, I mean, Mark might be one of the hardest sort of contestants to even try and fake a relationship. They'll play along like Liv's doing with Lewis and that. I don't think he's going to get the memo, Dave. He's just going to be like, nope, not for me. Not for me. So
I think my pitch, if anyone's out there listening, celebrity undateables.
Hosted by Kristen Day.
Yeah. I think, he should be on Undateables more than Celebs Go Dating. If they find him someone, I'll be fucking amazed. But it doesn't even seem to want to be there.
No. Again, like Christine, McGuinness, it's like, she's neurodiverse, as obviously Mark is. It's like, is this really the right platform? Last Chance Saloon, I can't date anyone, so you go on a show where you're trying to date. I'm just like, the cynic in me is always there, Dave. But I think, look, he's made good TV. That was fantastic. That speech.
It's like the best moment of the week, isn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant. So what did you think of Thingy Dave as well? Like, John Lee coming across as a good guy. I saw that in the chat as well. I think he is. I think like his day, as soon as they picked that guy, and that guy looked like, I don't know, like he'd been, they picked him off the street or something. It was like he could have at least had a shave or something. John's there, all prim and proper, looking ripped up, in he, and he's like a really polite guy, nice guy, very open. And then this guy comes in and he's sort of fanboying a little bit, but then Kerry Katona says something, don't it's a double date, and she was crying, laughing. He just completely misread what she said. I can't remember what she said, but it was something really stupid. But they sort of cut her then because she was wetting herself laughing. And I think they were like, it must have gone on for ages before they come back, but that was not the right guy for John at all.
No, and I feel like John might, well, let's face it, none of them are going to find someone on this show. But at the bottom of the pile, someone who's definitely not going to find someone with, along with Mark the Beast and also Christine, I think is John. I think he's probably just quite comfortable in his life. He's got his dogs, hasn't he? You can see he's almost like the equivalent of the stereotypical cat lady, I guess. He's a dog man, something. I was trying to come up. Yeah. A well-known adage that is out there, the dog man. But yeah, actually he's quite comfortable in his life, and I don't see him really dating anyone at the minute. He doesn't seem quite ready, but like you say, ripped up. He definitely seems to keep himself in shape, definitely takes care of himself.
Oh, and he seems like a good guy though, doesn't he, as well? I think it's a great comment in the Facebook group where he said, one lady said like, oh, he seems like a good guy. He does. I've not seen anything. No, there's not with him. He's him and probably, well, that's it. I say Christine's the same. Maybe they're not like, they don't seem celeb trained. John probably is more than them because the environment of being in a band and traveling and probably having everyone doing stuff for him. But he seems quite grounded, which is quite unusual for someone who's been in like a band like that from a young age. They're usually completely sort of celebrified. That's not even a word, Dave. I'm making that word, celebrity or whatever, or something like that. Where they have no grasp on reality. But John seems like he seems like quite a level guy. But
yeah, I mean, he must have worked at that because he was saying he was in S Club from 17 or something, and so I don't know. How do you really grow up? If I think of myself when I was 17, I didn't know fuck all. I certainly hadn't grown up. And so you're thrust into this bizarre world that normal people can't comprehend. And then he's obviously come out of it, but it's still fairly recognizable. I mean, he probably wasn't the main people. He probably wasn't the main reason people watched S Club. But, you know,
Me, Dave, anyway.
he'd have got a lot of attention.
Rachel,
So,
baby.
yeah, I agree. I think it was Rachel for most people. But
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, so yeah, tremendously grounded. But I could only think he must have picked that up after and
Yeah.
worked on himself quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, like you say, maybe it's to do with the way he looks as well, as in it's all to do with like, you know, getting fit, staying fit, you know, that sort of thing, mind, mental health. That's what I do. I try and, we both do, we do try and keep fit, don't we? I think it's a great thing for me. If I'm having a bad day or I need to do something that I know is going to be intense, I'll try and train before work, and that makes you feel better. It makes me feel better if I've done some form of exercise every day. So, plus, if you've got a bag of minstrels or something, Dave, or Maltesers, it always makes me feel better knowing that I've done 20 minutes on the bike. Not that it takes 3 hours to burn that off, but there you go. But
Yeah, no,
no, I do. Yeah. I do think like hopefully he does find somebody, even if it's not someone on the show, because so far his picks or the picks they've done from him have been pretty poor. And then I think even Kerry, just like she's there for entertainment, isn't she? Like, unfortunately, she was the same. She was in a girl band, Atomic Kitten, from a young age. She's very, very outgoing, you know, proper extrovert, but she's had her own struggles. And again, talk about what happened to her, you know, in a previous relationship, she's been treated really poorly. But I think, unfortunately, she only knows one way to act. So you get this whole brash Kerry Katona, the celeb, don't you? When I think really she just wants sometimes she just wants someone to come and give her a hug, I think.
maybe. I mean, I think she was definitely coming on this show because she could. It was an opportunity. You know, the agent probably said, you know, bit of exposure for a for the whole brand that she's got.
Brand, I think. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but it's only very occasionally she tones down. And I said last week, hadn't I? She turns up the northernness to 11. I said, yeah, all right, Chuck. Oh, come over here.
Yeah.
know, she just really leans into that. It's very occasionally she drops that down. And when she was going on the date with that Paolo, who she failed to get his name wrong many, many times, but I think she was a bit taken aback. But you could still see, I think that then the mask did drop a bit, where it's like, oh, fucking hell, I've got no excuses now. Oh, wait, his age. It's a bit young, you know. Like that's been a problem for celebrities in the past. So I think she was almost like, oh, this seems like a decent guy. But again, a little bit like I said with John, I don't think she's not particularly looking for anything. It's just a show that they'll come on, they'll get some exposure, they'll get a few quid for it, and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I think so. But look, you need characters like Kerry as well, don't you? The whole cast list at the moment is like infuriating in some respects, but it's watchable. I think just the Liv and the Lewis thing is just not organic, and that's what's peeing me off, Dave. But we know this watching other series. I know you've recently started watching it, but from what even you watched the last few series, there's a DNA to it, and I just don't want them leaning into that Love Island bollocks. I really don't, and that's where it's pissing me off a little bit. We've just finished Love Island, and then we've gone into this, and then at the start of it feels like a sort of half mature Love Island in some respects. You know,
Yeah.
no, it's fine. Honestly, it's been good fun. I love talking about it. Always do. And I'm looking forward to next week. But I just think that let them get together. Let them do whatever. Don't do a Helen Flanagan and then tell us that you've been dating for 6 months anyway. And that's why Liv was really annoyed. Well, maybe we need that bit of drama, Dave. I don't know. But there's something off about that whole relationship for me.
Yeah, I feel like it's just different to the likes of Love Island, the likes of Maths. I think this is a lot more set up. It's a lot more towy, and I kind of just enjoy the Rob Beckett roast. so I kind of forgive that. I kind of forgive the fact it's a bit more set up. Yeah, we get Olivia as well, don't we? Actually, before I forget, she seemed to be getting on well with that last date that she had. But then he made a comment about, "Oh, no wonder you've been single all this time." It's like, well, at the end, he's like, "Oh, this never happened to me before," and I was like, "Really, really? Maybe just this time it's on camera." But what? Who says that?
I know. The thing is, he was dead cocksure of himself as well, wasn't he? You know, good-looking lad, great way. See, he goes to the gym, and it was just like straight away. So you could just see, couldn't you? Straight away, the ick. Whatever we feel, he literally was like, "Yeah, I'm out," and he couldn't get it back. Once that's happened, you just couldn't bring that back. I'd be surprised. They'll never go on another date again, and he basically alluded to that. But yeah, I just don't believe it.
I mean, I guess though they'll have written into the script. You know, you alluded to it before, but Lewis and Olivia, that thing is not dead. It's apparently closed off for the moment, but we've got another 3 weeks left.
Yeah, 3 weeks. It's a 5-week show. You're right.
Something will happen there, won't it?
Yeah, and we have seen Dave, and you saw it before me, but there was a little trailer for Maths, I believe. I've not seen it yet.
You know what? I think it was when I was watching Celebs Go Dating, and it wasn't a trailer for the new season. It was just advertising that, because I was watching it on the 4OD app thing, and it was just advertising the previous seasons, and it said upcoming in September. And I'm like, just give us a fucking date, will you? Just come on, Channel 4. They're just rubbish. And you know, your podcasters here trying to set up and get ready for the season, and we want to know when it starts.
And you know what? One of the podcasters is doing his Judith Chalmers thing at the end of September as well. I don't plan these very well. Of course, Dave, just to mess it all up. But
it doesn't matter what we choose at what point of the year. You're never too far away from a trip to Baker, say it.
How dare you? How dare you, Dave? Yeah, you could be right. Anyway, well, yeah, I'm looking forward to Maths as well. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, I think end of September you go away, don't you? So I seem to remember it was me and Joe, I think, last year. It was Joe's first season of Maths, wasn't it?
Oh, Joe, she can't wait, actually. Yeah, it was Maths when she bought into all the love stuff. I mean, coming off of Tommy predictions on Love Island, we've got to get Joe on anyway, haven't we? Straight away. Can't wait for it. You're buying into all the love stuff. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But anything else, mate, before we go?
No, I think that's it. Like I say, there's not too much substance in this one. It's just enjoyable to go through, and I do think, I'm even thinking back to last season, I think the Beast drinking the table decoration is probably the highlight of any of the series that I've seen. Any of the seasons that I've seen on Celebs Go Dating. So I think that's my number one favorite moment for the time being, but roll on getting some more.
Brilliant, mate. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who supports us. We do appreciate it, as always. And thanks to you, mate, putting up with this. I love it. I love the fact that you're watching these things. So if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, @cdrealitycast. And if you do want to support us, please get over to patreon.com/cdrealitycast. So the roll call of honour, and a big thank you to Mel, Holly, Anna, Tilly, Marcy, Stacey, Sinead, Kathleen Sims, Nick, Danielle, Amanda, Larissa, Nicola, Gillian, Keith, Helen, Chloe, Joanna, Libby, Susan, Tracy, Lucky Lulu Green, and Kent Gustafson. So thank you so much, guys, for all your support. I hope you're enjoying it. Any comments, get over to Facebook, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. Come and join the chat. Anything you want us to talk about or call us out on, or get onto Spotify in the comment section as well, because I do love a good roast over there on the Spotify stuff. So thank you so much for everyone who still listens to me and Dave after all these years. We love it.
We absolutely do. So thank you very much, sir. Thanks to all the listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters, and we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.